preparing for summer training as an athlete and preparing your body for summer, within parentheses, getting a bathing suit ready. So if you have one of those that you want, I can take the other, you can take one.
So what was it? Summer as a jet hop and then like athlete getting ready for sport, or what you should be doing outside of like in the off season.
Yeah, I would assume our high school, college athletes asking what they should be doing when they're out of school.
Yeah. And getting in the gym to start. And then from there, strength training. It depends on where you're coming out. Maybe it's a hypertrophy phase, maybe it's a strength phase. I'll let you go into more of the X's and O's there.
Can we do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as athletes, we'll try to make this a one-size-fits-all, but you have to understand when we're reading this question saying, what do I do over the summer, things are going to look different for a footballer versus a track athlete. And I'm speaking to that less in terms of because their sports are different and more because one of their sports is coming up immediately and the other has just wrapped up their sport. And so I think the biggest thing, regardless if you're in high school or college, is you just need to be consistent both with your time in the gym and be consistent with your intensity. I think that's where a lot of athletes kind of wind up going astray. We think we need the world's perfect yearly skeleton of a training plan. When do I implement hypertrophy training, meaning when am I getting bigger? When does strength come in? How much do I focus on strength? How much do I focus on speed? And you have a bunch of nerds like myself who sit behind computer screens and we read all the literature and we say, okay, there's statistical significance in one's vertical max if they hit this exact protocol for a back squat. But what nerds such as myself don't account for is the practicality of all this. And so we have to understand that if you don't have the high-end equipment that Division I universities have and the pros have, you don't have the freedom of training for 4 or 5 hours a day. You don't have your own nutritional staff on hand. And so stop worrying about perfection is the enemy of good enough. And so to me, it's less about what you're doing and it's more about carving out time in your day to prioritize not just your health and your fitness, but prioritize being a better athlete. So flashing symbols, insert shameless plug again. I think for our athletes all over the place, one of the benefits of coming back and having a facility, Mannheim or any of our other locations, is that they know that as soon as they're paying for that, it is their responsibility to decide, hey, this is when I'm coming in. I know I'm coming in X amount of days. I know that my programming is being taken care of. I think a lot of my high school athletes who are kind of left to their own over the summer, or a lot of my seniors who graduate and then they're kind of off on their own. Summertime is hard because they go from all of this structure of school and team weightlifting, and now you're left on your own. And so for most of us, your coaching staff included, I think humans in general are not good when left alone, when we're not held accountable. So biggest thing there, I'll wrap it up in one sentence, is hire a coach.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
And I think too, high school athlete, college athlete, middle school athlete, whatever it is, the areas that you need to work on, whether we want to admit it or not, whether that's our top speed, our initial start, explosiveness, endurance, whatever that is. That's what us coaches, the more specific the more specific we are, the easier it's going to be to direct your training to and be able to see a difference there. Versus for an athlete, let's say I want to be able to jump higher, run faster.
Finish your sentence quickly.
I don't know where it's going.
Now keep going. All right, you're an athlete. All right, you want to improve your 40 time. You're a footballer.
Right.
You got to improve your 40 time. Right from there.
Yeah, you want to improve 40 times. So we're going to be working fast twitch muscle fiber. We're going to be working that start. We're going to be working running motion and explosiveness to be able to, because that's a fast movement. It's a fast run, obviously. And so that's going to help us be able to see and measure an actual goal versus something that I can't think of obviously right now. But something that, I'm getting at though, is just not specific enough.
Subjective versus subjective goal setting.
Right.
And so an objective goal is I want to run a faster 40. A subjective goal is I want to be a better athlete.
Right.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, I think that means a lot of things to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. If you had to run a 40, do you think you could break 5? National average for high schoolers, 5.2 and lower is considered poor. So we'll go there. Do you think you could break out of the poor category for high schoolers? 5.1 and below. Do you think you could hit that?
Probably not.
I think we're gonna have to test this out. You guys are gonna join us here. We'll go over to the Mannheim facility one of these days, and we'll have our Mannheim staff run some 40s.
But Jake could. Jake's sneaky fast.
We'll do an Instagram live here one of these days, and we'll do a coach 40-yard dash runoff. Winner gets a high five. Which is my segue into how do you prepare for a Beachbody, and so. You're now looking more subjective than you are objective, and so Beachbody Ready means something different to all of us. But again, you need to keep it very simple. Too many of us think that if we slug the Kardashian detox tea, we'll be good to go. Anything that is advertised by a celebrity, do not do. And of course, celebrities are going to feel phenomenal. They hop themselves up on drugs and alcohol for months on end, and then their bodies just completely shut down, and then they take 3 days where they drink nothing but cayenne pepper lemon water, and of course they're going to feel better. It doesn't mean they're healthy, it just means that most of the drugs have left their body. Anyway, I went so far down that lost it. Yes, all right, so calories in, calories out, right? So for most of us, Beachbody more than likely is going to mean I want to lose a few of the pounds that I acquired over the winter months. And we search for these detox teas, we search for whatever it is, any type of diet. 2 things with diet. Number 1, calories in, calories out. All right, if you want to lose weight, you need to be consuming less than you're burning, right? And if it's the inverse, I need to be eating more than I'm burning. But too often it's very easy for us to find these caveats and saying, I need to be implementing whatever it is. And I've talked to enough individuals where they say, no, it's definitely, I'm eating few enough calories. It's not that. Humans are terrible at math, and we're not exact. And so if we say you need 150 grams of protein for the day, and it turns out you're probably getting more like 100 grams, or if we're saying, hey, no more than, 200 or 150 grams of carbohydrates in a day, and you say, I'm definitely doing that, and you're over by 25, 30, 40 grams every day across a week, those calories add up. So, the biggest thing is having a structured approach to your weight loss, tracking your progress, and making sure that if things aren't going right, if you're not losing the weight, turn the blame back on yourself. Ask yourself what you're doing. Are you exercising enough? Are you eating few enough calories? All that stuff. I'm kind of talking myself in circles here. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, makes sense. I think, sorry.
No, quite good. Because I think we have one more.
Even when we're in a deficit or eating fewer calories, it doesn't mean starve yourself. Still eat proper enough nutrition to be able to fuel yourself for your exercise, or else you'll be defeating yourself and using your muscle as your energy, and it crosses out. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think in the fitness industry especially, I think we love to live in extremes. And so on one side of that extreme, you have the people who will just basically, without saying it, tell you to starve yourself. But then on the other side, you have the people who are saying like, hey, you know, anytime anyone is trying to cut weight and is trying to do something that is a bit extreme, right? I'm trying to lose 20 pounds in the next, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months. We have people who say that that's just way too unhealthy, and you should never even attempt that. I remember a few years back, there was a very famous CrossFitter. She's a female. She's ripped out of her mind, and someone asked her in like an Instagram live, like, what do you do to have that physique? And she said, like, I go to bed hungry most nights, and I skip meals sometimes when I'm hungry. And people just ganged up on her and said, this is just not healthy behavior. You're teaching young women that, I mean, she's absolutely destroyed. Did she deliver it wrong? Probably, but she does have a point in terms of, if I want to lose a certain amount of weight, some type of suffering will occur, and some type of sacrifice must occur. Does that mean that we should be living to the point where I'm just irritable all the time, I can hardly get out of bed? No, but at the same time, if every time I eat, I'm eating to complete satisfaction and I'm full, and there aren't days or nights where I'm a little bit hungry, and you're wondering why the scale isn't moving, that might be part of it. So I think we have to be able to suffer a little bit. I think we have to be able to sacrifice a little bit. Yeah. Please don't take that. I don't know, do we need like a disclaimer? Like, I'm not telling you to starve yourself.
There it is.
We're gonna have 2 flashing lights, one for shameless plug, one for don't sue.
Right.
Hopefully they don't get mixed up. All right, that's all our questions. Thomas, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your insight.
Thanks for having me.
Like always, guys, please like, comment, share. If you have questions, please drop them below. We'd love to answer those questions.
Subscribe.
And subscribe.
Click the bell.
And check out one of our facilities. We'd love to run you through a workout and see if power training would be a good fit for you.
Deuces.
See ya.